In Wartenburg syndrome, the compression takes place between A. Brachioradialis and extensor carpi radialis longus ECRL in pronation. B. Brachioradialis and ECRL in supination. C. ECRL and extensor carpi radialis brevis ECRB. D. Abductor pollicis longus APL, extensor pollicis brevis EPB, and ECRL, ECRB. E. Brachioradialis and flexor carpi radialis FCR. And the answer is A. Brachioradialis and ECRL, extensor carpi radialis longus in pronation. Now let's get to know a bit regarding Wartenburg syndrome. Chiralgia paresthetica means hand pain, superficial radial nerve palsy, or superficial radial nerve compression are synonymous with Wartenburg syndrome. The superficial branch of the radial nerve is purely sensory nerve, which is a distal branch of the radial nerve. Regarding the cause of radial nerve, in the upper arm, the radial nerve traverses behind the humerus, wraps around the humerus laterally, and then crosses anterior to the lateral epicondyle of the humerus in the antecubital fossa region, where the nerve will be divided into posterior interosseous nerve, is a motor branch, and superficial branch, a purely sensory branch. The superficial branch runs superficial to the supinator muscle and then along the ulnar edge and deep to the brachioradialis. This picture illustrates the simplified view of the cause of the radial nerve. About 9 cm proximal to the radial styloid, the superficial branch of the radial nerve becomes subcutaneous between the brachioradialis and the extensor carpi radialis longus ECRL. More distally and in the forearm, the nerve divided into branches, providing sensation to the dorsal radial aspect of the hand, dorsal aspect of the thumb, the index and middle finger proximal to the distal interphalangeal joint. This picture illustrates the cause of the superficial branch of the radial nerve at the wrist and the hand region, especially the thumb, the index and middle finger. The nerve travels from a deep to superficial location. It is particularly vulnerable to compression from the edge of the brachioradialis. Dallon and McKinnon stated that the site of entrapment is the area where the superficial branch of the radial nerve transitions from the submuscular to subcutaneous between the fascia, joining the brachioradialis to the extensor carpi radialis tendon. The symptoms and signs of Wartenburg syndrome: pain, paresthesia, and dysesthesia along the dorsal-radial distal forearm extending into the dorsal first web space and thumb. The exact area of symptoms can vary. The overlapping pattern of innervation of the superficial branch of the radial nerve and the lateral antebrachial cutaneous nerve can result in variation in sensory findings. There is variability in the digital innervation of the radial sensory nerve. Positive tenor sign is elicited when gentle tapping over the superficial branch at the radial nerve in the mid-forearm distal to the brachioradialis muscle belly. Sensory abnormalities are often detected on examination on the dorsal-radial aspect of the hand. Forced forearm pronation and forceful hyperpronation of the forearm with ulnar deviation and flexion of the wrist can provoke the symptoms. Okay, thank you.